Okay, so we're looking at this car for purchase, and we want to know if the car is worth the value they're asking for. They were asking for $2,000 for this 2002 Mazda 626. So initially, you just look at the car, and I'm going to notice right away it has a cracked windshield right here. And that's taking value away from the car. That's going to be about $200 to fix that. I'm also looking at, she sideswiped something right here on the right rear door, passenger door. So, you know, this is going to be a couple $100 to fix if you're lucky. Or you just don't, you buy it knowing you're not going to fix it. So we have a scrape there. In the front, we have a headlight that's crushed. Okay, so you go to the junkyard, get a headlight, but it's still money that you have to spend to fix. So it takes away from the value of the car. And whenever it hit the headlight, scraped and dented the fender and the bumper here. So there's some body work here. If you look at the tire, I can tell by the bulging down here that this tire was lacking maintenance. She did not rotate it or keep air pressure properly, or keep it properly inflated. So this tire is worn on the inside, not on the outside. It's a smooth pattern. I take my hand, I always feel my tire, but I know that it's worn on the inside, not the outside. It's not a air pressure problem, and for the wear, it is an alignment, or most likely, it's a suspension problem, and she needs struts. We went over that in another video. She needs 4 struts on this car. So the front tires need to be replaced. The rear tires do not need to be replaced. So already my mind is thinking, you know what? I need 2 front tires. I need body work. I need a windshield. You know, this car might not be worth $2,000. Now let's go look at the engine compartment. The engine compartment, I'm going to just start identifying things. Spark plug wires. I could tell that these spark plug wires were replaced because someone put a red dot on these so they knew what number cylinder they went to. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's not factory. So someone's done a tune-up on this. I'm going to look inside my motor underneath the oil cap, and I'm actually going to look and see if there's grime, if she's done oil changing, and it looks really clean. Black doesn't necessarily mean that it is lacking maintenance. It just means that she might be due for an oil change. If it was gritty and there was crusty stuff inside here, which there isn't, now I'm thinking that the motor is worn. This motor seems like it's in very good condition. It is not leaking underneath or on top. You could also pull your PCV valve out and see if it's crusty on the bottom. Very few people change this. You can kind of see that there is crusty stuff on the bottom of this. It's a good indicator, besides the oil cap, of the health of the motor, because this is sucking all the air inside your motor and reburning it. This is your PCV valve. So put that back in. So I checked my oil condition. Now I'm going to check my oil level. I'm going to look for my oil dipstick right here. The car is parked on flat ground. Again, before I use the dipstick level, I'm going to look at the condition. And then again, no grit. It needs an oil change, but it does not mean that the oil is bad. Now let's check the level. I'm going to put it back in, pull it out. Again, the car's on flat ground, and look at that. No oil level whatsoever. This is full, this is low, and it's down here. She's almost a quart low on oil. That would be my guess. So again, maybe she doesn't do the oil change regularly. You could ask, or you could just kind of guess that, hey, this person does not check their oil, because if they did, it would be full. Let's check it one more time. No oil. She's down at least a quart. Okay? I'm going to put that back in. So we checked the oil level, we checked the oil condition. Now we could go to power steering right here. Let's check the power steering fluid. Take that off. And it's right where it should be, right between the low and the high. And remember, as it heats up, it's going to expand. Okay? I'm going to check the condition of it. And it looks clean. Excellent. I'm good with the power steering. So power steering looks okay. If it was a leak or something, it'd be low. Now let's look at our coolant. And look at this. That coolant is not a nice color. That coolant has never been changed in this car. We're definitely lack service on the coolant. That was the reservoir. The reservoir is full, but you never just check the reservoir. You also check the condition inside the radiator. It's full, but man, I do not like this color. It is milky brown. You go to the auto parts store, you will never see milky brown coolant for sale. It'll be green, orange, red, blue, but not that color. It is full though. That's a good sign. Okay, now for the radiator cap, it should be springy. The seals should be pliable and in good condition. So I think what we need to do is change the coolant. Do I think that the water pump's bad or the motor's bad? No. I think we need to do a coolant service and an oil change. So again, the value of the car is dropping with each thing I see. Part of the cooling system and part of the power steering system is your belts. So I have belts right here. I'm going to bend them, I'm going to twist them, check to see if they're tight. There's two belts. There's one here, and there's another one way down here that I can't see. But I'm going to feel my fingers on it, and I'm going to feel for cracks and see if it's tight. Now there's a problem with the belt, and I want you to stay focused on this as I start the car, and you'll hear it. So stay focused on the belt, and tell me if this is okay. Goes away. So I think they have new belts on there. Maybe we need to like put some belt lubricant, some silicone spray on there, or maybe readjust them. I would do that first. We might be buying belts, or a pulley could be seizing when it's first start up. Okay, I have it running now. Good opportunity to check my transmission fluid. So I'm going to go and look for my transmission fluid, and it's not in the front. And here it is right here in the back. Again, to check your tranny fluid, the motor must be running. Right down here, it must be running. The first pull is condition. What's my condition? It should be nice cherry red, and it looks a little dirty. Almost like the coolant. Almost like the oil. Good. Be a good guess that she's probably never changed her tranny fluid. Now let's check the fluid level. I'm going to stick that back in there. I can't really see it, so I'm going to use my hand to guide it down. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to check my fluid level. Here's the hash marks where it should be in, and it's nice and full. It's right there. So I'm happy with the fluid level. The fluid should always be smelled. So you want to see my nose. And if it was burnt, you would smell it. This smells perfect. It smells like a musty cherry smell. It's a little bit dirty. This tranny's in good condition. So I'm happy with the transmission. The last fluid we got to check is the brake fluid. I'm going to put this in. And while we're right next to it, here's my brake fluid. Right here. Here's my master cylinder, my brake booster for my power brakes, and my reservoir. I'm going to pull this cap off. And I'm going to look and see what my brake fluid level's like. And it's a sight, right, let's see, here. Go on the side over here, and you will see where it says max, and you will see where it says minimum. The fluid level looks like it's right at the maximum. So that tells me my brakes are probably in good condition, but now I want to check the condition of my fluid. And I'm just going to take my finger and put it right on my skin. Again, she probably needs to change her fluid, but is the fluid bad? The answer is probably no. But we could do what I've done in other videos and actually test it with test equipment. But if you're just at home, put your finger in there and just take a look. It shouldn't be dirty, it should be clean. It should look like mineral oil. I noticed the one thing I did almost do. When I took this cap off, I almost put it down on my paint, which you should never do. If any fluid, brake fluid, eats your paint, like it just eats it up, and it will start to boil and bubble, and your paint will peel off. So whatever you do with brake fluid, you work cleanly, and you do not touch the paint at all when you have brake fluid on your hand. So that's it. We've inspected everything. The one thing I haven't inspected actually is our hoses. So go and take your hoses, grab them, twist them, bend them, make sure they're firm. I'm gonna go, that's my upper, I'm gonna go to my lower, right here. And the hoses are in good condition, so we're good, okay? All right.